Okay, we'll just start then. Okay, hi guys. Name is Leslie here, and I know you guys we'll just keep this short and sharp. So before anything else, let's just introduce my panelists. You guys just give a short brief in terms of who you are and what you guys are doing, in terms of disruption as well. Is there something that you are doing at this point of time? So let's start off with Alexander first.
My name is Alexander Tkachenko. I'm CEO and founder of VNX Exchange. It's an asset-backed token exchange located in Luxembourg. We aim to be the first regulated platform launched in Europe. Hello. And we're focusing on the VC funds and accelerators tokenizing their portfolios.
Hi, my name is Zing. I'm a board of director at the Litecoin Foundation. And on top of it, I used to be doing a lot of investments. And I'm also currently helping to build the Asian ecosystem for VNX.
Yuree.
Hi everyone, I'm a founder of She Blockchainers, which is an online non-profit community supporting the female inclusion in the space. I basically just try to bring more ladies into the space. And then also I have a profit arm that I run the blockchain consulting company named Ampliv. So it helps to connect the blockchain startups with enterprises so that they can make more use cases in our real life and also covering the marketing in Asia.
Nice, thank you. And the last guy.
Hi, my name is Garrett Macdonald. I'm the director of cryptoeconomics at the Energy Web Foundation. It's a nonprofit based in Switzerland that's partnered with a couple of the biggest energy companies in the world, and about 100 different startups and VCs have participated in our token sale. Basically, we're the back-end infrastructure that all blockchain and energy applications are using, less maybe one or two of them. And we're super excited to just integrate distributed energy markets everywhere in the world. And fundamentally, I believe that cryptoeconomics is one of the core driving forces of enabling this technology to actually cause a massive positive impact in the world. So I'm also the co-founder of a company called Token Group, and basically we just build token economic models and structure tokens for companies in a sustainable way that's actually going to stand up after this, crypto hype all falls away.
Thank you. So, our topic for today: are there enough disruptions? So, based on all the expert industry professionals over here, my question to you guys is: are you seeing enough disruptions in the space that you're in? I know most of us are from the blockchain technology, but are there other technologies that's going to integrate together with the blockchain component? So let's start off with Yuree. You want to comment on that?
Yeah, my just very straightforward answer is actually we don't have enough disruptions yet. A lot of ideas and the visions have been spoken, and also a lot of companies last year also raised a lot of money out of these visions and ideas. But still, many companies are still in the building stage, building the technology stage. That's why I see that this real life use cases development is really important right now. That's why also what I'm focusing on. So trying to help these startups to find the right enterprise business partners, because they really own the business. They have customers and users, so they can really have bridge the gap. And also these customers and enterprises, they hear and they are very eager to do something around the blockchain, but just they don't know which area that they can focus.
Great.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
How about you, Zing?
This question is a bit wide, because to say that there is enough disruption, what are you implying it to, right? Okay. What's the frame of
specifically
reference?
Towards the blockchain component and the other industries that's tied to blockchain.
So I guess as it pertains to disruption, I guess one needs to really look at real-world problems and use cases. We shouldn't be really looking at disrupting for the sake of disrupting. There really needs to be a pain point, number one. Number two, as it pertains to blockchain, having been am currently part of Litecoin. It itself was invented in 2011. So back then and up till now, it's still sort of one of the disruptive crypto technologies, cryptocurrencies around. And your other question was, what other technologies could come in sync? And I think moving forward, we might see also a gradual confluence of artificial intelligence and also blockchain. As you know, how do you look at security and also having enhanced security on the back of AI as well?
That's good actually. Yeah. How about you, Alexandra?
I'm actually not from the blockchain space.
That's good, even better. Yes.
I'm coming from a VC world, and whether enough disruption or not, like Zing said, it's a very. It depends on your point of view. However, the VC industry is, although quite young, it's about 40 years really coming to age. It hasn't really had a big shift. So it's really still an artisanal business of a few guys who are doing, deals by themselves. And what we're trying to do is we're really trying to institutionalize it, make it more like an asset class. And I think that will disrupt the industry itself. But on the other hand, it's more of an evolutionary kind of curve for the industry. Therefore, on one hand, there's not probably enough disruption in the class that we are looking for, but our gradual shift will disrupt it.
Awesome. And Garrett?
What class is that exactly? That
VC, venture capital.
In investing in equity or security tokens or utilities, or that whole industry as a class?
Just generally as a class, venture capital.
Yeah, because definitely like VC is going to be something that's massively disrupted by tokenization and increased liquidity on security token markets and stuff
Absolutely.
like that, for example, is something that's very fascinating. But yeah, I think generally there's plenty of like, if you put it in quotes, disruptions. So I think I'd like to separate like hype, oh, we're disrupting this or that, with actual applied disruption. I think that there's definitely not enough applied disruptions, which is like companies actually targeting real needs and solving real problems. So I'm definitely excited to figure out which companies are that more. I also operate a bit in the VC space, so we see lots of companies, and it's so much hype right now. And I think that the real disruption will come from people addressing real needs and solving real problems in the world and improving people's lives and improving the state of the environment and these kinds of things. So yeah, not yet.
Yeah, nice. So let's just put it out there that the blockchain technology is at its infancy stage, right? So because the smart contracts that Ethereum has done actually created this whole hype and bubble that came about where you have all the ICOs coming out and the SCOs coming out. And for that reason itself, we only an industry that's only 2 years old in the first place. So can we expect massive disruptions like Uber, basically, that has already spent enough time over a period of time to actually disrupt the industry itself. So I guess we are still in the infancy stage, and because of that reason, I think that's why our panelist has mentioned that there's still not enough in terms of what's going on at this point of time. And as a result, they are hoping to see more use cases for like what Zing has mentioned and Garrett has mentioned, that use cases that can solve real world problems in this aspect. So thank you guys for that. And moving right along in terms of disruption itself, Alexander, maybe this question can be posed to you. From a traditional point of view, from a VC itself, you've been looking at companies that has been providing information, or new technologies that's coming towards to you and pitching to you guys. In your experience, for those companies, how do you actually see? Do you see enough of those kind of disruptive technologies like AI that was mentioned, or Internet of Things that are some storage new issues that came about? Would you like to elaborate in terms of like what have you seen in the market, and what's the trend moving forward, basically?
It's very difficult to say broadly, because even as a fund, we're really focused on a few niches. As a general kind of comment, what has been happening, I think there was a big wave of democratization, so the Uber and the Style, etc., etc. So you're really decentralized. So there were big hotel chains that basically controlled it. Then Airbnb came and basically broke down the industry. However, what we see more and more nowadays is that even though they democratized the certain industries, the principles of business still apply. Therefore, you see guys or companies being formed to actually manage the apartments on B&B. You see companies that are being formed, again, from individual workers to actually service those apartments. So these are, speaking about just general trends, not speaking about each individual kind of
industry,
vertical or industry. This is what I saw like over the past years.
Oh, great. Okay, so based on what you've mentioned as well, so for that reason, the disruption in terms of the individual verticals that you have mentioned, how about creating that? Is there enough to see different individual verticals creating different disruptions across the board? So this is what the industries are trying to solve in terms of real use cases in the first place. So can I just ask Zing, in your experience, when you talk about the use cases, what are some of the use cases that you see that has the potential to disrupt?
So I'm not sure how many. Okay, this to me is actually quite scary. So I don't know if you guys have heard about the news in China where they're actually monitoring citizens with like a social identity score, and I think it's actually really scary. Like, depending on whether you're a good citizen or not, like it affects your ability for your children to go to a public school. And, you now have a social rating score if you, litter, if you speak badly of the government, different things. But they can pretty much monitor everything from your spending to your habits, to your education, to your jobs. And citizens actually think it's okay. Like, from what I read online, they like it. But I think if this is a wider trend and as it comes to governments and elections, and there's going to be a bunch of elections that are coming up over the next year in Asia Pacific as well, with what we talk about these days in blockchain as it pertains to identity management, and all these different solutions, I think this is actually pretty disruptive, and it's scaling in a way that's very fast in a place like China. There will be a lot of issues with regards to your sovereign data privacy, what it means, what do you really control. There have been a whole bunch of ICOs that were launched to try to give you access over your own data and how you can monetize that for marketing purposes, from pharmaceuticals to, I don't know, like a whole bunch of industries.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to change up the pace a bit. So we're going to talk about the centralization and the decentralization specifically because most of the verticals or the industries are a centralized entity basically. And as a result from the blockchain technology is decentralizing a lot of the industries itself. Are there enough disruptions in those, from that perspective, from a decentralized perspective? And I want to throw this question to Garrett, because you're the tokenomist, and in your experience, what are the decentralized models that you think would disrupt any verticals that you have experienced? Yeah. Yeah,
I think that definitely there's a lot of potential for disruption in many verticals all across the board, but the main thing is the thing that I like to shoot for basically, because of course I love fully decentralized systems and the whole ethos behind Bitcoin and Ethereum and like unstoppable computing and all of this is great, but something to realistically aim for if we want to be compatible with the real world is, I think, becoming a more popular term called minimum viable centralization. Because ultimately, to operate in the modern constructs of society, we still need a lot of interface with traditional systems like finance, government, AML, KYC regulation all over the world, stuff like that. So there are a lot of marketplaces that actually work a lot better in centralized architectures, like Uber is great because they kind of like silo or Grab, they silo everybody into like one ecosystem that they all have to operate under. But there's a lot of room for disruption in that, basically, if the like governments step in and say, okay, actually you guys need to open source all the data about the location of your cars and how to contact the drivers, and then have the drivers automatically submit bids to a decentralized platform. Then you're kind of democratizing access to like an entire like sharing economy like asset class, which is I think super interesting. And like that's, for instance, one thing that can be disrupted. Like energy markets obviously can be very disrupted. You know, super old architecture there. And actually Singapore Power work very closely with us, and they're actually on the cutting edge in terms of having an internal development team building blockchain applications and stuff like that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So that's good. Okay,
Yeah.
good news to hear. And so, last note for every speaker here, what would be your advice to a startup that actually, well, is that all I have in terms of timing? I'm sorry. So that's all I have in terms of timing. Thank you guys and thank you for my panelists. I will keep to the time that's been actually given to us. Thank you all for this panel. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.